Alright, well, at least Strixie was able to get the Furia. I'm trying to heal these guys as best I can. I feel like these totems are just tickling them. Like, this Fernando's health is just constantly so low. It's not that I'm not healing him, it's that my healing output sucks. It feels like I'm playing Genos. That's not a good thing. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is AndrewChicken, and welcome back to another video. Grok got quite a lot of nerfs this update. He did get one buff, and that was the Spirit's Domain, getting 800 healing per second instead of 700 healing per second. But when it comes to the rest of his kit, well, it's nerfs pretty much all around. And so today I'm going to be covering them in a video. Most notably, I'm going to be covering Totemic Ward, which really got hit the hardest this patch. And honestly, I'm quite shocked that they're nerfing him, because last patch I thought he was in a really good state. So let me break down exactly what happened to him. First of all, his damage has been nerfed. So his lightning staff now does 70 damage per tick instead of 75. Except on Maelstrom, where they returned the damage on the lightning staff back to 75. For some reason, honestly, I don't understand. If they thought his damage was too strong, then why give it back to Maelstrom, which is already a very powerful damage talent? Doesn't make sense to me. Anyways, if you run his other two healing talents, then, well, you're already doing less damage because you're not picking Maelstrom, and so you're not getting the benefits of having more shock pulses. But then you're also now doing less damage because your weapon simply doesn't hit as hard. And then on top of that, his base totem healing got nerfed from 300 per second down to 270 per second, which is a pretty big deal. It's minus 30 per second per totem, so it's minus 60 in total, which, yeah, I mean, that's that's just a weird nerf, because they already weren't healing for, like, super big amounts to begin with, and then they're just cutting the healing even more. Like, it's weird. It means that with Maelstrom, the amount of healing you're going to give to allies has been nerfed, and your self-sustain is going to be lower. But of course, the self-sustain, it was good, but I never felt that it was overwhelming. And of course, once Cauterize comes into play, well, I mean, you know what Cauterize does to every healing output value in the game. And then also, it means that Totemic Ward is worse, because Totemic Ward is a percentage of the base totem. It's not just a flat healing value. So Totemic Ward is going to be doing less healing now as well. So if you want to heal with this playstyle, you're doing less. And then also on top of that, they gave Totemic Ward a direct nerf. They nerfed the radius from an increase of 25% down to an increase of 20%. So the radius is lower than it was last patch as well. So yeah, Grok just feels, like, bad on Totemic Ward now. Spirit's Domain does have its increased healing per second on Lightning Staff, but it's balanced out by the totems being nerfed, so the healing output with his talent is basically the same, but he's more dependent on staff heals now, and it means he can't spread out his healing as well as he could last patch, where there was more emphasis on the totem healing, less emphasis on the staff healing, though still the staff was really good. And then with Maelstrom, it's practically the same, but the self-sustain is lower. So, yeah, pretty much every talent is mostly neutral, but slightly worse than it was last patch, and I have no idea why. Because last patch, I felt that he was in a great spot. Totemic Ward was a great hybrid talent. You could do damage and you could do healing. Neither was particularly overwhelming. It was just a fun talent. Spirit's Domain was a great healing talent. He could pump out lots of healing. And the Maelstrom was literally a meta damage talent. Grok was like crazy with Maelstrom against specific team comps, especially with tanks, deployables, Ying, stuff like that. And now, yeah, it's just kind of been thrown to shambles, and Totemic Ward especially got it really, really rough. I mean, you can see now, we can go over to this Fernando, we can throw a totem down, and yeah, it's that healing value now. 46 and 47 kind of alternating per tick. And yeah, of course, also the damage on the staff will still ramp up, but it'll only ramp up to 91 now. So it's just flat out lower than Maelstrom. Like, we can switch to Maelstrom, and here we go. We're back up to... Wait a minute. Okay, I actually didn't know that. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna reset the shooting range real quick. We'll be right back. Okay, so I just reset the shooting range. Grok, Maelstrom, supposed to start at 75. Okay, so apparently that was a lie. This, why did they even update the description of Maelstrom if they didn't even implement the change? The damage on the Lightning Staff is exactly the same with Maelstrom as it is with Spirit's Domain, as it is with Totemic Ward. So there is actually no difference. So he's just flat out nerfed across the board now, which I guess for the sake of consistency across talents, that's a good thing. But in my personal humble opinion, as someone who's played a lot of Grok, his damage on his Lightning Staff never needed a nerf. Like, honestly, it was never, like, crazy overwhelming to begin with. Like, yeah, it was on the higher end when it comes to damage supports. But if you were to switch to, let's just say, I mean, we could use Genos as an example, honestly. Like, Genos gets to do this, where his damage starts at 115, and can headshot, and doesn't have that ramp up, so it's, like, just always this good. Or you could switch to Furia, and of course with her Wrath it's crazy, or you could switch to Corvus. So like, there are other supports that can pump out crazy damage with their weapon shots. Like, this is pretty fast DPS. It's faster fire rate than Grok. Lower damage per shot, of course, but like, Corvus kills pump out damage. So I don't know why they ever decided that Grok needed a nerf on that. These nerfs just make no sense. Okay, enough ranting and rambling on. Let's just get into some gameplay. We're going to play some Totemic Ward, and we're going to see just how bad this feels after all the nerfs, because Totemic Ward really got hit the hardest, and it went from being a fun hybrid playstyle to something that's just sort of rough. Man, I actually can't believe that Maelstrom doesn't even make it do more damage. Like they said it was going to, and then it just flat out doesn't. I actually didn't know that until I started recording. Like, I actually didn't know that until I just noticed that. That was my literal live reaction. And here I thought Grover's rework was the only one that was completely half-baked. I guess Grok's isn't completely half-baked, it's just they forgot about that one very important detail. Which never would have happened if they even, if they didn't even nerf him in the first place. Like, why do they even have to, why do they even have to nerf him, man? I don't understand. It's very sad. Anyways, we're playing Totemic Grok here on the worst Onslaught map. So this is probably going to be a bit rough, especially because, well, I'm going to have to try and heal people on the high ground and the low ground with totems only. Though I guess my staff range is short enough that it probably wouldn't work too well, trying to staff heal, like if I'm on the low ground, aiming at high ground, or vice versa. So this might be for the best. And we'll just see how the damage feels, how the healing feels, how the radius feels. This is going to be much worse than last patch. I don't expect this match to go well at all, but I am going to try my hardest to win. So here's the build we're going to go for. We have Crackle at 5, so we get 1 extra second out of our healing totem. That's an additional 270 healing just flat out, or I guess multiplied by whatever Totemic Ward does. We got Outreach for healing totem deploy range, and then we've got Spirit's Grace at level 5 for 30% increased move speed in the totems, which is an amazing card for Grok to have. I have it in pretty much every build. And we also have Monolith Totem and Shamanic Might, just so me and my totems are a bit tankier. So let's grab this. Of course, we must grab Chronos. It is mandatory if you're going to be playing Totemic Ward, especially as a healer playstyle in particular. You really want to go for Chronos. As like a duelist, hybrid, off support, you can get away with not buying Chronos if you want to play Haven or something. But, as a general rule, Haven is just, or Chronos, excuse me, is just super good. So I'm going to go up top, and I'm going to try and heal from up here. Dredge, what are you doing, my good sir? What are those spamages? Alright, let's get a totem here. Alright, Zin's inbound. Let's get another totem here, and I'm going to try and just light him up, but he's already billowing away. Get a totem down there for you. I'm going to Ghost Walk. Oh my. Oh, this Dredge spam. I just felt the counter. I'm dead. I need some help with the damage. I just got a Zin up here. I feel like I'm the only one fighting him. Oh, come on, Petty. You couldn't even make it back into spawn. Alright, Sky, let me help you. Let me help you. Here's a totem. There we go. I'll finish him for you. Appreciate that. Here's the totem. There we go. Let's keep you alive. The totems are just so limiting. When you play Totemic Ward, like, honestly, you shouldn't really do what I'm doing right now. I announced to my team at the very beginning I was going to play Totemic, and they forced me to solo heal, so, it's kind of on them that they have to deal with these heals. But the reason you don't play Totemic as a solo healer, normally, is because, yeah, it's just super unreliable for your team, because you're forcing them to stand in these circles, and the circles don't even get that much healing to begin with. So, especially this patch, now that they got nerfed, like, it's really not super helpful. Like, there are 2 circumstances where you'd play Totemic Ward, right? You play Totemic Ward, or I guess there's 3. You play Totemic Ward, first of all, for the memes, if you want to be a tank. and you're just goofing off. Second, you play a Totemic Ward if you are the solo healer in like a tank-heavy comp where you've got like 4 tanks and you're all just stacking the objective. And that's a specific strategy you do with a 5-stack usually. And then the third time is as a hybrid support, where you want to do damage and you want to heal at the same time. And I consider it to be more of a duelist playstyle of damage Grok rather than Maelstrom, which is purely area damage focused. So, you know, Maelstrom is really only helpful if you actually have, like, you know, a bunch of enemies grouped up or you have deployables or something like that. Whereas Spirit's Domain, or excuse me, not Spirit's Domain, Totemic Ward, that really helps you dueling someone because, well, you get more self-sustain, and so you're much more likely to win that duel simply because the numbers work in your favor, you know? Even though you don't necessarily outdamage them, you outlast them in the war of attrition. So, yeah, but all that is just nerfed this patch. Alright, I'm coming up here. Fernando, here we go. I'm going to kill this Zin, and I'm going to heal you. There you go. So yeah, you don't play it as a solo support. Like, in pretty much every circumstance, if you're the only healer on your team, you should play Spirit's Domain. Alright, just flat out. Take it from a Grok main! Ow! Take it from a Grok main. My Grok is my highest level support. So, I know a little bit about what I'm talking about. I've played, I think, more Grok than I have Eevee, actually. In terms of just raw hours. My Eevee is like 3 levels higher than him now, but, you know, that doesn't really consider time, it only considers XP. So, and yeah, we're getting crushed. This is about as expected. I mean, I'm playing Grok on this map, and I'm playing Totemic Ward, and also we have just a god-awful team comp. We have 3 of the worst characters in the game, and Fernando. Like, we have Strix on DPS, we have Skye on DPS, and then we have Betty, who's really only good at busting tanks, which, to be fair, she's good against the Zon, but she's kind of crap against the rest of their team. Alright, well, at least Strixie was able to get the Furia. I'm trying to heal these guys as best I can. I feel like these totems are just tickling them. Like, this Fernando's health is just constantly so low. It's not that I'm not healing him, it's that my healing output sucks. It feels like I'm playing Genos. That's not a good thing. If I was playing Spirit's Domain, we'd be doing much better. But even still, the totems wouldn't be doing much. Okay, Betty. I'm gonna give you a totem. Here you go. The range still feels fine. I am liking the range on the totems. I can understand why they nerfed it, and I think it's an acceptable value to have it at. But I do not think they should have nerfed the output of the totems. Like, in terms of the actual, just healing numbers. Because that just seems a bit silly to me. Alright, we got a double kill, let's go in. Nice, Zin is dead, we're gonna light up this Azan. I'm chasing you, bro. I'm gonna win this. I'm gonna put down my totems. I'm not gonna win. I'm not gonna win. You have a Ying. You have a damage Ying. You have a focusing on Ying. I think it was focusing on, right? Yeah, it is. Oh gosh, that was spooky. Alright, let's see. Let's get more totems down. We are behind by a lot. It's probably not likely that we're gonna catch up and win. But, I mean, we can at least, you know, pad our stats a little bit and make it seem like this was a closer game than it actually was. Oh god. Alright, counter's down. We should be able to get this in. Do damage. The petty ult wasn't even needed. I killed him. Oh boy. Alright, here you go. Just take more totems. Yeah, she's just basking in them. I mean, it does have very good point coverage. I think totems do have an advantage over, like, Lillith swarms in particular, because totems have nice vertical range. Like, if I go up standing, like, up here, I'm still getting healed by the totem. If that was a swarm on the ground, I would not be getting healed, because the vertical range is absolute just garbage. And while the healing output for swarm might be higher, it's just it has more vertical range, but then the totems also have more horizontal range, especially with this talent. And they're also much more consistent. Like, if you put a totem down, it's going to be there for... I forget how many seconds, actually. Does it say here? No, it doesn't. But they stay there for a while. And with Lillith, it just feels like you're constantly channeling and then putting them down, and it allows Grok to be just more free to do whatever he wants, which I think is very nice. Like, to me, Grok is just a far more fun Lillith. Like, it's just, you know, I like his weapon more, I like his playstyle more, I like his movement ability more, I like his totems more than Lillith's swarms. It's just he feels better. And of course his ultimate is far more impactful. Like, true lifesteal on paper seemed really good, but in practice I've found that it doesn't really make much of a difference in the fight. Most of Lillith ult is just self-heals, and that's what you use it for, just like win duels and put more swarms out or whatever you need to do. And also a cheap knockoff Mayfline and a cheap knockoff Cassie ult that only works for Lillith and no one else. But yeah, you could see there in Ghostwalk, I was healing myself without cauterizing. It was still pretty slow. Like, compared to last patch anyways. It wasn't, obviously, that slow, but still. it's just, I don't like what they've done to Grok. I just wanted to make this video to be like, hey, why did they do these nerfs? These nerfs were not needed. You just kind of made Totemic Ward bad. And I'm sad. Anyways, they're about to win. They literally need 12 more points to win. We at least managed to get past 100, but I feel our time here is short-lived. Hello. Oh, the illusion body blocked me and I died. Well, there we go. There's the defeat. Unfortunate. I mean, we got pretty unlucky with our team comp and our map choice as well. Like, this is not a very good Grok map, at least when it comes to healing. It's not a very good map in particular, to be perfectly fair, but especially Grok is not that great. You would really want someone who can heal through walls. Like, honestly, as much as I hate Genos, he would have had a better time, because at least he can heal no matter which section of the map he's on. But also, you know, like Corvus or Grover would have been better. Not really Grok. And then also, yeah, oh my gosh, I got 5 kills, yeah. These champions are not it. Like, we picked, like, 3 just horrible tier champions, and we wonder why we lose to this Dredge who went 15-3. I can't believe I got top kills, though. That's crazy. And I still did 31,000 damage. I did do more damage than our Fernando and our Skye, and I was on par with our Strix. So, I mean, I did okay, and I actually got top healing in the lobby as well, which partially has to do with the fact that they were doing a little bit more damage, especially that Dredge, so there was just more to heal back. But yeah, like, these were slight tone downs, and they just make Totemic Ward feel a little bit worse. They make Spirit's Domain feel worse, and apparently now they make Maelstrom feel worse too, because they nerfed his staff heals on that anyways, even though the description says otherwise, and also the self-sustain is worse. So everything is just worse about Grok. And I don't like it because I feel like he was in a really good spot last patch, and they just messed that up this patch. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Am I off base? Did Grok need the nerfs? Or does Grok need even more buffs than what he was last patch? I honestly don't think that's the case. But yeah, just let me know your thoughts. And yeah, also, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and also check out the Discord server and the Twitch channel, both of which are linked in the description down below. And if you want to support me and my channel, then please consider checking out my Nexus at nexus.gg/AndrewChicken. You can buy crystals, the season pass, and more, and support me in the process. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I will see you all next time. Peace out.